All right, guys, welcome. Sal Cosentino, your CEO, cloud architect, and trainer of INC by INC2. And today we're going to talk about the art. Today's March 11th. Look that, guys. And we're going to be talking about art. The art of not giving a shit, or the art of not giving a crap in a sales objection, right? And this is in sales. People get this all the time, and it's not something that's um it's not something that's taken slightly in specific contexts and scenarios. And what we're going to talk about, again, I'm Sal, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about something most people get wrong in sales. Why prospects act the way they do, and why they sometimes push back, get defensive, or even seem rude. I want to show you how sales professionals handle it, how they stay calm, how they guide the conversation, and again, most importantly, how they don't let it bother them. If you've ever felt frustrated by a tough prospect or didn't know what to say, this video is for you. Remember, it takes two to tango. Um, you know, disrespect works in both ways, right? Governed by a conversation, governed by respect, respecting one another, being kind to one another is the art of sales, right? you know, it's not about, like, sometimes you need to be told to lose weight. Like you go to a gym, you hire a trainer, they tell you to work, they tell you to work out, right? Doesn't mean that they should be giving you the disrespect, or giving you or pushing you hard enough where you can't push yourself. You need to be kind. You're paying them. It's a service, so respect that, because the respect comes in two ways, right? I came to you for your service. I don't need your service. I pay for the service, but I don't give a crap. This is what I do. This is my job. Or I'm a professor. I don't like the way you do things. I don't like what you do, what you wrote on your paper. You may have spent 6 hours on it, or she may have spent, or they must have spent a few weeks on a project, on a group project, but doesn't mean nothing. It's the respect, it's being kind. And, if you ever feel frustrated by a tough prospect and didn't know what to say, this video is for you. So stick around. We're going to break it down in plain English. Yeah, plain English. Think about what you say before you say something, right? Think about, you listen to the conversation before you listen to the conversation, right? So that's the art of not giving a crap, right? So what I want you to know is, when we talk about prospects saying, okay, your price is too high, or, well, it's not actually that expensive compared to other options, you really should consider. No, like, let's say, okay, well, this is what he says. So this is a conversation we'll say. Okay, so, well, it's actually, and I'm going to grade this for you guys too. And don't worry, guys, I am going to make this bigger. It looks small right now, but I'll make this bigger. Right? Make this a little bit bigger for you guys. Okay. So So, well, it's actually not that expensive compared to, and this is what we're talking about, price too high, right? This is price is too high. I'm gonna grade this a D. And the reason why my grade is a D is because it's about defensiveness. It's about arguing. You're trying to convince. Panic is showing. Think about it. The rookie take is now taking it personally. Well, what do you mean, Sal? It's not that simple. It's you have to kind of understand, the years of experience and the knowledge that you put forth in your training that you have. Even if you have 8 years experience, it's out the door, right? Well, it's actually not that expensive compared to other options. Think about it, read it. Well, it's actually not that expensive compared to other options. You should really consider. And I'll tell you why this is a D because, you know, in in a scenario where you get these objections, and when you see these objections, you you see why it fails, and you try to kind of fix it with your employee, the rookie. And the rookie's response becomes defensive. It's a defensive tone, not my tone, but the rookie's tone is defensive. The salesperson immediately defends the price. It's not that expensive compared to other options. Think about what I just said there. It's actually not that expensive compared to other options. And this is cold calling, right? You saying that it's not expensive makes the prospect feel that you're arguing with them. You've got that defensive tone in that as a reader reading that, right? You're also trying to convince the prospect. You're trying to convince the prospect, right? Like using you should really consider is pushy. You should really consider. That's pushy. Instead of guiding the prospect, that pressures them to agree. That's what that means, right? And this is a D. You're taking it personally. So the objection is about the price, but the rookie reacts like it's a personal attack. You should consider. It's not that expensive. Prospect senses panic or insecurity, which lowers the trust. Remember what we talked about. The conversation backfires. Obviously, that conversation is going to backfire. I don't care. That prospect's going to feel either judged, he's going to feel ignored, or lectured. You should consider the following, right? They may become defensive, hang up, or walk away. It's again that art of not giving a shit in sales. You're not giving a shit about making money. You're not giving a shit about the customer. You're not giving a crap about things. Here's if the price is too high. Consider the actual products, the service that you're selling. How are your numbers going to get better? Or how are you going to get better? How are your numbers going to progress, or your commission, or whatever the hell you made, whatever you paid? How is that going to get better? What I want you to say is, look, I get it. Compared to what I've seen, what do you think makes most sense for you? I get it. Compared to what you've seen, your price is too high. This is all about the pricing too high. And that to me is an A. Plus, yeah, like have I see this all the time, and it's like, okay, price is too high. Okay, fine, perfect. This is your goal. This is your time to get the sale. Like, why are you leaving the customer? Why is the customer leaving you? Like, why are you getting rid of the customer that way? Like, you should be able to sell this right away, right? I don't care how many years experience. I get it. Compared to what you've seen, what do you think makes that most sense for you? The most sense for you? That's an A plus. You're calm. You don't argue in this. And read it. If you read this, I get it. Compared to what you've seen, what do you think makes the most sense for you? Right? You've got calmness in here. You don't argue. You've redirected the conversation. You've also kept control while letting the prospect feel in charge. It's calm. It's composed, right? It's calm. It's composed, right? I get it, right? The phrase, I get it. What does that mean? You're showing the prospect that you understand their concern, right? You're neutralizing the tension. Right there, you're neutralizing the tension. You're not really escalating it. I don't care how many years of experience you have. If the prospect says this is too expensive, start with I get it. I get it. I get it's okay to use. That's okay. You're immediately showing the prospect that you understand their concern. You're neutralizing tension instead of just escalating it. Like, I get it. Keeps that conversation relaxed, right? You're not really getting defensive there. Like, I've seen rookies with 15 years experience, 10 year, whatever the case may be, 10 to 15 years experience that still don't know, and they become defensive. Like, you give them advice, they're defensive, right? So instead of doing that, don't argue, right? Don't say it's not expensive or you should buy this. Avoid using trigger resistance, right? And that's important. Avoid using trigger resistance. Let me write that down for you guys. Avoid using trigger resistance. Triggers. Arguing triggers, right? Arguing, right? Avoid using trigger resistance or arguing trigger resistance, right? And but this phrasing, you're not really, it doesn't really argue, right? So you don't say it's not expensive or you should buy this. Arguing trigger resistance, but phrasing that acknowledges the prospect's viewpoint. So instead, redirect the conversation, right? You can also redirect, and that's why it works. Right? You can also say, instead of getting stuck on the price objection, you move towards understanding their perspective, right? So instead of getting stuck on the price objection, you move the discussion towards understanding their perspective. So asking compared to what you've seen, right? When you look at the professional response, when you look at this, compared to what you see, oops, compared to what you've seen, right? You're really encouraging the prospect to explain their benchmark. So, for example, you have a prospect that might reveal a cheaper alternative. That's fine. He's done his research, or she's done, or they've done their research, right? So you're giving them insight to show value, or just differentiating your offer at that point. Right? You can also keep control while letting the prospect feel in charge, right? And I'm going to give you these 4 points in a second, these 4 or 5 points in a second. I just want you guys to listen and write notes as you're listening. But I will give the class some time to copy that if their way of watching a video is listening and not watching, right? Um, what do you think makes most sense for you? Right? You can ask that. You hand the decision back to them, basically, and that's you're keeping control while letting the prospect feel in charge. So, you know what? Let me write this down for you guys because, I don't want to get you guys too confused with what I'm going to be talking about next. And I'm going to use an example in playing it, even car sales, right? And I'm using car sales now because I want you guys to understand car sales first before I move on to real estate, life insurance, door-to-door sales, network marketing, multi-level network marketing, anything that you guys want to do in sales. It's sales. It is sales. You are learning. I show you why. You sell, you promote, you brand, you build, you do the work. Show me, write the work down. Use examples. I tell you guys to send me a message. Give me some examples. I can work with you. You can call me and say, hey, I watched your video. Say, hey, Sal, I had this prospect that gave me this problem, and this is what I want you to help me with how I can resolve this issue. No problem. But you need to prove to me that it's worth doing the work and putting in the work to do it, right? And not just expecting a handout or a plate with a spoon. So I'm gonna go back to the drawing board here, and I'm gonna get rid of the pen here, and I'm gonna go to the next page, and we're gonna be talking about again why that worked. This response compared to that, it's easy. It's calm and composed. We talked about that, right? Being calm and composed in your response, right? And that's in your response, right? Because it's inside your responses, right? It's inside the quotes, or what is vocalized through your mouth, right? It's the language you use. So calm and composed, I get it. Immediately shows that the prospect that you understand their concern. Again, you're neutralizing tension. You're not really escalating it. If this prospect says, "Hey, too expensive," I get it. Helps that conversation relaxed rather than being defensive, right? And why it works again, it that doesn't this actual phrase doesn't argue with you or the client, right? It redirects the conversation, right? I explained all this, and then we're at keeps control while letting the prospect feel in charge, right? And then we'll also talk about the psychology. So, you know, by asking, and when we're actually here right now, we're on number 4. So, just want to make sure you guys are with me. So right now we're here. So this we talked about. This we talked about. This we talked about. So keeps control while letting the prospect feel in charge. I get it compared to, and this is compared to this part here. Remember, we're talking about this phrase here, this whole phrase, right? Think about it, right? So by asking what you think makes most sense for you, what do you think makes more sense for you? Look at it right here. What do you think makes the most sense for you? You're actually handing the decision back to them. This is a subtle influence. So you're not really giving a shit about it. You're not getting frustrated. You don't, you feel now you're feeling empowered. You're giving them empowerment. They're in control, but you're still guiding the conversation towards a decision. Remember that. You still need to guide the decision, right? The conversation towards the decision. There's also a psychology around this. You know, people will naturally resist being told what to do. Natural. It's natural to, I gotta go. Bye. Okay, bye. Don't call me. Put me on my do not call list. Why are you calling me? Who the hell are you? These types of responses, right? So you need to remove the pressure, right? So the prospect will say whatever they want mentally, whatever they want, and you may not agree with them, but it doesn't mean that they should be doing what they're doing. First off, they should respect. You should be respecting both one another, especially if a person calls you. Give them the opportunity to speak. Give them the opportunity to talk, right? So the prospect is more likely to engage honestly, right? This isn't a scam conversation, right? People naturally resist being told what to do. And yeah, like I said, it removes the pressure. Again, so the prospect is more likely to engage honestly. This is now building trust. So you're making the prospect more receptive to your guidance and eventually a close because that's the goal is to close the deal, right? There's many ways to close the deal. And again, message me the word art and I'll send you some sort of scenario based close in a PDF. Just ask. You'll always get, I need to think about it. Okay, I hear you. That makes sense based on what you've seen, right? Or the car has features you said you needed safety, fuel efficiency, and reliability, plus the warranty you wanted. Get to know the customer. Or this house fits your must haves location, size, and updated kitchen. And it's priced for what's available in your area, right? You can use the binary choice. So, for example, in car, so do you want to take the delivery this week or next week? Like a selective close, like this week or next week? Do you want to make an offer today or schedule an inspection first? You're still keeping control in your hands. You're now giving the prospect empowerment. You're avoiding a yes and no deadlock, right? And you also want to handle last second hesitation calmly. You're gonna get that hesitation, and that hesitation is you don't know what they're building up inside of them. You don't know the way their tonality is. You don't know the way they act. You're offended by something. It's you're not giving a shit about something in sales, then you don't give a shit about life. You don't give a shit about the people. You're not kind enough to people, right? And it's not just the salespeople; it's also the prospects too, because it could be the other way around. Would you say the certain things that you said to people, right? So what's holding you back from moving forward today? Like that's a last second hesitation, right? So listen carefully, then address the concern without arguing, right? And then before I end this again, once they say yes and confirm in a closure, you know, you're removing confusion and you're reinforcing commitment. What do I mean? So great. What you could say is great. So we'll go ahead and schedule the delivery for Thursday at 2 p.m. I'll send you confirmation and the paperwork today. Simple. You're staying calm, you're guided, you're giving them the options, and you're summarizing the value of the next steps, right? There's many ideas out there. Again, I've given you this one. If you can come up with another one, please feel free to message me in yours and give me some time to respond back, right? Because there's many scenarios and many responses that you get. And, sometimes that art of not giving a shit, it's not about ignoring your customers, it's about staying calm, keeping control of the conversation and taking things personal. And it's a two-way street. Remember, rookies argue, they panic. Two-way street here, right? Not unidirectional, could be bidirectional. So they try to convince, hard to convince. Professionals, they stay relaxed, right? So ask the right questions, guide the prospects without pressure. So if this helped you see how pros handle objections, hit the like, leave a comment with your toughest sales story. Give me a call and subscribe because there's more coming on real estate skills, real sales skills that actually work. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.